This video is going to be on Norse Healers, Spae-Wives and Volvas, and I thought I'd wear my hat since my hair's pulled back really tight and it looks like I'm bald, so I thought I'd wear my hat that my mom made me for Yule since it's dealing with Norse people and Vikings. So, yeah, we're going to deal with Norse Healers, Spae-Wives and Volvas. I'm going to give a short introduction on each one. I'm not going to go in depth. That's something you could do yourself since there's a lot associated with each of those. So I hope you enjoy. So with early Norse women healers, they were often they were practitioners in the art of healing. They healed mental and as well as physical illnesses. They had a lot of herbal knowledge, or they knew the herb lore and how herbs could be used for healing and medicinal purposes, and I'm thinking magical purposes as well, because they used some of them used magic in their work, as in some of them were gifted with the being able to use the arts of using runes for healing and whatnot. Some of them were also spae-wives, which I'll go into next, but most of them were just like your village healer sort of thing. They'd be like a midwife. Men were healers too, but it was mostly predominantly like a woman's trait or thing to be was a healer. So they'd be there for childbirth and be able to help the mother and everything. When I think of them, they're just like basic healers. Like I think a lot of women would probably knew about herb lore and everything, so I think there's more healers than there were spae-wives and vulvas. So the concept of early Norse women healers is more of a basic, easier concept to, not concept, but something to think about. When I go into spae-wives next, they're more expanded on the idea, or they have more characteristics or traits or qualities than the women healers do. So I'm going to that next. So with spae-wives, they're healers as well, but their knowledge on runes is far more tremendous. They know way more about runes than the regular women healers would. And they use the runes for good and bad magic, if you want to consider it that. I'm just putting those in, making it simple little terms, because some people don't think there is good or bad magic, and some people do. So we'll just leave it at that. So they'd use their magic to some of them to, like, on the side of the battlefield, if they had a specific warrior they wanted to protect, or they wanted to cast spells over the war. What am I thinking? The war or the battle going on. They sit at the sidelines while they're doing their magical workings, which was kind of cool in my opinion, I guess. I wonder, I don't know for sure because I need to study them more in depth, but I'm wondering if spae-wives either had lovers that they were protecting, or if I don't know if they were actually being able to marry or not. I'm pretty sure they would, but I'm going to check on that, and if you know for sure, let me know, because I'm just starting to study this more in depth. I've studied it little by little, but now I'm trying to dig deeper, and there's so much, so it's taking me a long time. Spae-wives were also considered, if you want to call them, shamans or shapeshifters. They were sometimes they're described as putting on a skin and changing into a different animal. You see that a lot with the gods, like Freya would wear skin to shapeshift, and you see other gods shapeshift into animals as well in different lore or in different myths. Yeah, but the spae-wives also they were able. Okay, let me stop and get. Sorry, I got lost and had to take a drink of water. They also consider spae-wives to be for women to be the original teachers of rune lore, and also the teachers about the world tree. And I would say it wrong, but I'm thinking it's Yggdrasil or Yggdrasil. And if you read the different stories, Freya was the one who taught Odin magic, so it doesn't really make. I mean, it's not a surprise that the spae-wives would know a lot of magic, or that it's not like a women trait only, but that the spae-wives stick out in the different lore and stuff, and that they're talked about a lot. So that's pretty much it about the spae-wives. I mean, there's tons more you can get into, but then it's more in depth, and then you have to learn more of the terminology and everything. So this is just going to be an introduction. So I'm done with them for now, and I'm going to move on to the vulvas. And don't get them confused with vulvas. I already posted that earlier on my Facebook page, and one of my pervy friends had to make a comment. I'll even spell it for you on the little slide that I'm putting up next. So the Volvas are what I consider either like the village witch. I mean, I talked about healers and spae-wives earlier, and they could be part of the community and healers as well. It depends on what you really think of the village witch. When I think of the village witch, it could be a healer, like a woman healer, or sometimes I think about it, I try to think about like hedge witches, not like what a lot of people consider hedge witches now, which is just they consider if you're a solitary practitioner who practices with herbs and just works with the world around them, then you're a hedge witch. But I mean, everybody has their own definition of hedge witchery. I'm in a hedge witch group, and every time somebody asks, "What is your definition?" the first person that writes on there is every hedge witch you ask, you're gonna get a different answer. So, but I see them more as being able to dig deeper into something, to cross, because a lot of them in the group that I'm talking to, they're able to cross into a different world. I don't totally understand everything which they discuss because I've never crossed like they have. A lot of people will say that they've crossed, but their experiences in the other world or whatever world that they're transferring are too similar compared to what other people say when they're saying they're crossing. I think when other people are crossing, it's more like at their subconscious, and these women and men, it's something different. But I'll maybe make a video on that. I don't really know if I want to because a concept that I can't grasp fully since I've never done it myself or being able to. I've been able to reach a different level of consciousness and see things, but not to the extent that these people can. Um, so Volvas have all the same traits as the Spae-Wives and Healers. They have an extended rune knowledge. They can heal mentally and physically. They're good with magic. They can shapeshift. They're shamanic. Um, the difference is that the Volvas were known for their prophetic abilities. And with this, I connect them to Frigg because she's the goddess of prophetic dreams and whatnot, but she isn't, she's supposed to be prophetic, but she's not supposed to be, to share in a lot of the myths that I see. But I've never worked with her, so you tell me what she works with, and if you know more extended knowledge on her than I do, then we can share that too. I'm always open to be corrected. I'm not going to ever pretend like I know everything or that my knowledge is correct on something, so I'm totally open for you to share with me. Also, like I said, with the hedge witchery thing, they're able to. Some people will say it's astrally project for the Volvas, but they're able to go to a different world and use herbs and different things to help them. I guess you could say let go of their bodies, and I guess this practice is called Sidir. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. I think it's spelled Seidhr. So, so all these women have a lot of things in common. The healers, the Spae-Wives, and the Volvas is just like I see it as climbing up a tier sort of thing. And it's not really known exactly what their place in the community was. Only because a lot of when you read things, a lot of the times, by the time we got information about the Norse, it was written like 300 years, I think, after it had become that Christianity had come to the different Scandinavian areas, and it was written. The first things we have is written by I always say his name Snorri Sturluson. I'm really bad at pronouncing things. I usually skip over names for some reason. It's terrible. It's like I can never remember authors' names even if I love their books. Um, so a lot of the times they'll leave out women, and that's why a lot of times they think it's more of a patriarchal religion, but it's not. And I suggest again you guys get Goddess of the North by Linda Welsh. I'm talking about some things in her book, like this was in her book as well, but I wanted to share it with you. I also want to share next time maybe her concept of the Norse triple goddess, which is amazing and opened my eyes, totally made me fall more in love with the Norse pantheon. So, but this is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this short informational video.